The San Diego Unified School Board updated its policies on immigration enforcement in schools that align with state requirements. Joining me now to talk more about this specifically and the impact it will have on schools moving forward is the president of the San Diego Unified Board of Education, Mr. Richard Barrera. Mr. Barrera, welcome back to KUSI.
Thank you, Paul. Great to see you.
All right. Before we get to what the new changes are, what was the current immigration policy of Unified?
Yeah, and there really haven't been many changes. So if you go back about a decade, the long-standing practice by the federal government was to designate schools along with hospitals and churches as safe havens. So there would not be immigration enforcement happening at schools. The Trump administration, when they came in the first time, they abandoned that policy, and that meant that there was the possibility that we would see immigration enforcement agents coming to school. So our district was one of the early districts to pass a policy that said no immigration enforcement on our school campuses without a judicial warrant, and no access to student records without a judicial warrant. So that's the policy that we've had in place since 2017 in San Diego Unified. About a quarter of districts in California had adopted similar policies, but about 3/4 hadn't. And so then there was a law last year, AB 49, which now requires all districts in California to adopt that policy. No immigration enforcement on campus without a judicial warrant. There was some new language in that law, some new guidance from the Attorney General. So our policy was just simply bringing our policy into alignment with the new Attorney General guidance, but substantively nothing different than what we've been doing for a decade.
Is there even one documented case that you know of, because I know of none, of a case where ICE agents have shown up on campuses of schools here in San Diego County? Even one example?
There were two in Los Angeles that happened last year, and it was not ICE agents, but Department of Homeland Security agents that came to two elementary schools. Los Angeles Unified had that policy in place, similar to San Diego Unified. They were turned away. ICE the agents did not come onto campus. We have not had an example in our district.
So isn't this a solution in search of a problem?
Well, no, it's a solution that's preventing a problem, because Department of Homeland Security, ICE agents know that if they come to a school campus, they better have a judicial warrant or they're going to be denied. And I think that's part of the reason why we haven't seen this extension of the kind of chaotic immigration enforcement that we saw in Minneapolis coming onto our school campuses, because we've been clear for a decade that's not going to happen in San Diego Unified.
But again, there has been no examples of that chaos that we saw in Minneapolis, not at schools, but on the streets. We have no examples of that, because it would be all over our newscasts if there were. I mean, I just want you to enlighten me to have we ever had a kid dragged out of class, ever?
Well, we had a father who was waiting at Linda Vista Elementary School to pick up his daughter from school.
But a couple blocks away from...
No, right at the drop-off and pickup, and who was taken out of his car by masked, armed agents and taken away from his child. So to believe that somehow this kind of immigration enforcement would not extend onto school campuses if they had the opportunity to do it is naive. And so we have set up a protective policy. Schools should be safe havens. There is no place for that kind of enforcement coming after children. But we're very clear in our campus that it's not, in our schools, that it's not going to happen.
What do you say to parents who say, hey, we just want our kids to learn. We don't want politics like this involved.
Yeah.
And this political position, you know, they're using their taxpayer dollars to subsidize your political point of view.
Our parents are saying we want our kids to be safe at our schools. We don't want ICE agents that, you know, have no sense of, hey, we're targeting somebody who's actually committed some sort of crime, coming onto our campuses, searching kids because of how they look, because of the language that they speak. That's what we've seen out of this administration. So yes, our parents want our kids to be safe on campus, which is why we have this policy, which is now the law across California.
How many kids are we talking about? that are not of legal status here, or parents of not of legal status? How big a issue is this?
So about half of all students in California are part of an immigrant family. About 20% of all students are part of a mixed status family. Now, over 90% of those students themselves are U.S. citizens, but they have somebody in their family who may be undocumented. So this is a huge portion of the children who are in our schools every day, and it's our responsibility to protect those students so that they can learn.
So, fair enough. Hey, before we go, you got time for one more question?
Sure.
Because we were just talking about you represent millions and millions of dollars of union
Yes.
money. Where would you like to see it? What candidate do you support for gubernatorial, the very crowded gubernatorial race, mostly crowded on your side of the aisle?
It's a crowded field. Appreciate that, Paul. Tony Thurmond, who's the current superintendent of public instruction. I think having a person whose focus is on education as the governor would be fantastic.
Okay, but what if people have an actual chance to win? Who are you supporting?
I think if people had an opportunity to actually hear Tony and hear his message, I think they would vote for him. This is the problem of money in politics. Tony is an education person. It's a little harder to raise money than, some of these guys who come from Silicon Valley. But I think if people had a chance to actually listen to Superintendent Thurmond's message, I think he'd be a very strong candidate.
Mr. Barrera, thank you for rolling in at such a wee hour of the morning.
Absolutely.
Imagine if school started at this time.
Kids would be asleep, yeah.